Amazing. Thanks, everyone. So I think, as I said, if we could start by maybe taking a step back for those who don't know, obviously the framing of this panel is, this new era because, alternative app stores have been around in some cases for a while already, but actually because of that changing picture of many things that Paolo's just talked about, we're entering a kind of an era of new opportunities. So it'd be great to hear a potted history, I guess, of the industry and I guess where we're at now in its evolution.
Yeah, I guess just in terms of what we're seeing at ByteBrew, I think the interesting thing about alternative distribution right now is that, correct me if I'm wrong because you guys know way more about this than I do, but it seems like it's largely been the domain of very successful studios looking for additional scale where prior they kind of maxed out iOS and Google Play. But I feel like maybe like the market conditions, being what they are, have kind of level the playing field in a way where smaller and more medium-sized developers are starting to pursue these opportunities as well, like partners of ours, Wizard Games, exploring Amazon Fire TV, and obviously when Unity had previously announced runtime fees, there was a lot of conversations about web. So I think it's become less about where do I find that last little bit of scale that I can't find, and more like an additional incremental revenue stream for even smaller, more medium-sized developers. And so I think to your point, I think that knowledge is really going to start to grow because these are like the scrappy studios who are doing what it takes to survive that are going to do so much learning so quickly, right? So I think it's going to be a very interesting time for alternative distribution as a whole.
Yeah, I need to add I'm definitely on the same page that the big companies that have already made the successful stories and having hundreds of millions of downloads in Apple Store and Google Play, it's kind of no-brainer to also jump in alternative stores because the brand is so well known, so it's a little bit easier to move there. But now we are basically waiting to them share what to do, how to do, and how the whole thing works. Because if you have a small game and you're struggling with the audience already, with the mainstream stores, it's not going to be easier with the alternative store. So yeah, that's definitely how it goes right now.
Yeah, I definitely think too it's important as you enter these alternative distribution models that you keep in mind that the player themselves can be wildly different. I mean, especially going from like mobile to anything web, right? Like it's been a big eye-opener for me over the course of the last year or so since we launched support for web, just seeing how differently those players behave. And so you can't really just kind of copy and paste your work from one store to the next. You really need to think about the nature of the player in each platform. How can you curate your content for them? And so that's why obviously analytics is so critical across all your channels.